The phone rang at 2 a.m., jolting Alex from a restless sleep. On the other end, his brother Ben's voice cracked with desperation. "Alex, I need your help. The wedding's falling apart. We're short on funds, and Mom and Dad won't budge." Alex, heart pounding, wired the money without a second thought, covering the entire cost of the extravagant ceremony his brother had always dreamed of. But when the invitation arrived, or rather, didn't, Alex stared at the empty mailbox, realizing the ultimate betrayal. He wasn't welcome because he was gay. Alex Thompson had always been the reliable one in the family. Growing up in suburban Chicago, he was the older brother who fixed bikes, helped with homework, and shielded Ben from their father's stern lectures. Their parents, devout Catholics with roots in a small Midwestern town, instilled values of hard work and family loyalty. But when Alex came out at 22, during his senior year at Northwestern University, the family dynamic shattered like fragile glass. It started subtly. His mother, Elaine, wept quietly in the kitchen, whispering prayers for his salvation. His father, Robert, a stoic engineer at a local firm, avoided eye contact, muttering about choices and disappointments. Ben, then 18 and heading to college, had hugged him awkwardly and said, "It's cool, bro. Just don't make it weird." Alex clung to that lukewarm acceptance, pouring his energy into his career as a software developer in San Francisco. He built a life there. Friends, a bustling tech scene, and eventually Mark, his partner of 3 years, a kind-hearted graphic designer who made him laugh even on the darkest days. But family ties pulled like invisible strings. When Ben proposed to his high school sweetheart, Sarah, last year, the excitement rippled through phone calls and group texts. Alex offered advice on venues, even suggesting a picturesque vineyard in Napa Valley. "Money's no object," he joked, though he meant it. His startup had just been acquired, leaving him with a comfortable nest egg. So when Ben called that fateful night, confessing that their parents' contributions fell short and loans were out of the question, Alex didn't hesitate. He transferred $50,000, the full amount for the wedding planner, caterers, flowers, and honeymoon suite. "Consider it my gift," he said, voice steady despite the lump in his throat. Weeks turned to months. Alex planned his trip back to Chicago, booking flights for himself and Mark. He imagined walking Ben down the aisle in spirit, toasting to their future. But as the date approached, silence grew deafening. No save the date, no formal invite. He texted Ben, "Hey, details on the wedding? Mark and I are excited." The reply came hours later. "About that, Mom and Dad think it's best if you don't come. They don't want drama." Drama. The word hit like a punch. Alex paced his apartment, Mark watching with concern. "What do they mean, drama?" "Because we're gay," Mark asked, pulling him into a hug. Alex nodded, tears stinging his eyes. It wasn't just exclusion. It was erasure. He'd funded the event that celebrated love, yet his own was deemed unworthy. The next day, Alex called his mother. "Mom, is this true? After everything?" Elaine's voice trembled. "Alex, honey, it's complicated. The church, the relatives. We love you, but we can't have questions." Questions. As if his existence was a scandal. Robert got on the line, gruff as ever. "You made your choices. We have to protect Ben's day." Alex hung up, the phone slipping from his hand. Betrayal burned hot, but beneath it simmered a deeper hurt, the realization that his family's love was conditional. He confided in Mark over dinner that night. "I thought paying for it would show them I'm still part of this. That I'm not the villain." Mark squeezed his hand. "You are part of it. They're the ones missing out." But Alex couldn't shake the anger. He scrolled through old photos. Him and Ben as kids, building forts in the backyard. Family vacations where laughter filled the air. How had it come to this? Deciding to confront them, Alex booked a flight alone. Mark insisted on staying back to avoid escalating tensions. Landing in O'Hare, the familiar chill of Chicago winter mirrored his mood. He drove to his parents' house, the same red brick colonial where secrets had festered. Ben answered the door, looking sheepish in his rehearsal dinner suit. "Alex, what are you doing here?" "We need to talk," Alex said, stepping inside. The living room smelled of pot roast and tension. Elaine hovered in the kitchen doorway, Robert in his armchair, newspaper forgotten. "You took my money but won't let me come? Because I'm gay." The words hung heavy. Ben shifted uncomfortably. "It's not that simple. Sarah's family is conservative too. And the priest. He knows about you." Alex's laugh was bitter. "Knows what? That I love someone? That I exist?" Elaine interjected, tears welling. "We don't want to lose you, but the community." "The community?" Alex exploded. "What about your son? I paid for this wedding to support Ben, not to be invisible." Robert stood, face reddening. "You chose this lifestyle. We didn't." The argument escalated, voices overlapping in a cacophony of accusations and defenses. Ben tried to mediate. "Alex, just understand." But Alex couldn't. He stormed out, slamming the door. Driving aimlessly, he pulled over at a park, snowflakes dusting the windshield. The weight of it all crashed down. Years of suppression, the facade of normalcy. Was this the price of authenticity? He texted Mark. "It hurts more than I thought." The reply, "Come home. We'll figure it out." Back in San Francisco, Alex threw himself into work, but the wound festered. Friends urged therapy. Mark suggested cutting ties. But family wasn't that easy to sever. When wedding photos flooded social media, Ben beaming, Sarah radiant, parents proud, Alex felt a stab of envy mixed with rage. He'd enabled their joy at his expense. Then came the call from Ben, 2 weeks post-honeymoon. "Alex, thank you for the money. It was perfect." No apology, just gratitude laced with guilt. Alex paused, then said, "You're welcome. But next time, invite me or don't ask." The line went silent, a chasm widening. As winter thawed into spring, Alex reflected on his choices. Coming out had cost him comfort, but it granted freedom. Yet the family's rejection lingered, a shadow on his happiness. He and Mark planned a quiet commitment ceremony, inviting chosen family. No drama, just love. But doubts crept in. Had he been too harsh? Should he have swallowed his pride for Ben's sake? The internal conflict raged, mirroring society's divides. Alex joined a support group for LGBTQ+ individuals estranged from families, sharing stories of similar heartaches. One member said, "Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's choosing peace." Inspired, Alex wrote a letter to his parents. "I love you, but I won't hide. If you can't accept me, that's your loss." He mailed it, heart racing. Weeks later, a response. Elaine's handwriting, tentative. "We're trying to understand. Come visit." Hope flickered, fragile as a flame. But Alex knew change wouldn't come easy. The journey ahead promised more confrontations, more tears. Yet for the first time he felt empowered, ready to demand the respect he deserved. The visit was set for summer, a neutral ground at a cabin in Wisconsin their family had rented for years. Alex arrived with Mark, insisting on his inclusion. "If they want me, they get us," he told Ben over the phone. Ben agreed reluctantly, warning, "Mom's nervous, Dad." The drive from Chicago was tense. Mark held Alex's hand. "We've got this. Remember, boundaries." Alex nodded, but anxiety gnawed. Pulling up to the lakeside cabin, memories flooded. Fishing with Ben, bonfires with Esmores. Now it felt like enemy territory. Elaine greeted them at the door, hugging Alex tightly. "You look good," she said, eyes darting to Mark. "And you must be Mark." The introduction was awkward, Robert shaking hands stiffly. Ben and Sarah arrived later, Baby bump visible, news Alex had learned via text. Congratulations felt hollow. Dinner was grilled steaks and salad, conversation skirting minefields. Weather, work, the Cubs. Then Sarah asked innocently, "So, how did you two meet?" Mark shared their story. A coffee shop mishap, spilled lattes leading to laughter. Elaine smiled faintly. Robert cleared his throat. "That's nice." But as wine flowed, tension surfaced. Robert asked Alex about his job, then pivoted. "You still going to that church in San Fran?" Alex tensed. "No, Dad. I found a welcoming community." The word welcoming hung like a challenge. Elaine interjected, "We just worry about your soul." Mark squeezed Alex's knee under the table. "With respect, Mrs. Thompson, Alex's soul is fine. Love isn't a sin." Silence descended. Ben shifted. "Let's not ruin the evening." But Alex couldn't let it slide. "Ruin? Like how you ruined my trust by taking my money and excluding me." Ben flushed. "I didn't exclude you. Mom and Dad," Robert interrupted. "We did what was best for the family." Alex laughed bitterly. "Best for your image, you mean? What about me? I'm family too." The argument ignited. Elaine cried, "We raised you right." Mark defended, "Right meaning straight?" Sarah looked uncomfortable, whispering to Ben. Finally, Alex stood. "If acceptance is too hard, maybe we shouldn't be here." He and Mark walked to the lake, stars reflecting on water. Mark held him. "You were brave." Alex sighed. "It feels like fighting windmills." Back inside, Ben approached alone. "I'm sorry, Alex. I should have stood up for you." The admission was a crack in the wall. "Why didn't you?" Alex asked. Ben confessed. "Fear. Of losing them, the life I have." That night, Alex lay awake, pondering Ben's words. Fear drove so much, his parents' bigotry, society's judgments. But fear had also silenced him for years. Morning brought uneasy truce. Coffee, apologies murmured. Elaine said, "We'll try harder." Robert grunted agreement. Returning to San Francisco, Alex felt a shift. Not resolution, but progress. He dove into advocacy, volunteering at a local LGBTQ+ center. There, he met others with fractured families, sharing tools for reconciliation or severance. Months later, Sarah gave birth to a boy, naming him Alexander, after Alex. The gesture touched him, but skepticism lingered. When invited to the baptism, Alex asked, "Is Mark welcome?" Ben hesitated. "The church is traditional." Alex declined. Then no. The decision cost him nephew time, but preserved dignity. Mark supported, "You're choosing yourself." Yet guilt tugged. Was he punishing an innocent child? Internal debates raged, echoing moral quandaries. Friends argued both sides. Forgive for healing or boundaries for self-respect. At work, Alex's team noticed his distraction. Promotion loomed, but focus waned. Therapy helped unpack layers. Childhood expectations, parental projections. "You're grieving the family you wanted," the counselor said. Alex nodded, tears flowing. Then came a surprise. Robert called. "Son, I read some articles about your community." Stilted but sincere. "It's hard, changing old views." Alex listened, heart softening. "Thanks, Dad. That's a start." As fall approached, Alex and Mark hosted a housewarming. Friends filled their new home with laughter, a stark contrast to family stiffness. But a package arrived, baby photos from Ben, with a note, "Miss you. Let's talk." Alex replied, suggesting a video call. The conversation flowed better. Sarah cooed over the baby. Elaine asked about Mark's art. Robert even joked mildly. Hope bloomed, but caution tempered it. Yet challenges persisted. At a family reunion invite, conditions attached, no politics. Alex knew politics meant his identity. He pushed back, "My life isn't politics." Ben mediated, but fractures showed. In quiet moments, Alex questioned his path. Had funding the wedding been a mistake, enabling denial, or a bridge to this tentative thaw? The price, emotional exhaustion, but growth too. Mark proposed one evening, ring simple and perfect. Through it all, you're my family. Alex said yes, tears of joy. Planning their ceremony, they invited the Thompsons, no strings. Elaine RSVP'd yes. Robert wavered. The day before the call with Ben, Alex reflected on sacrifices. Love demanded vulnerability but also strength. Was reconciliation worth the pain? The video call connected, faces pixelated but familiar. Baby Alexander gurgled in Sarah's arms, a tiny reminder of stakes. He looks like you, Alex, Ben said, smiling. Alex chuckled. Hope he gets my tech skills, not your sports obsession. Laughter eased entry, but undercurrents swirled. Elaine asked about the proposal. Mark seems nice. Alex shared details, watching reactions. Robert nodded silently. Then the pivot. When's the wedding? Mark joined. Next spring in Napa. Invites implied. Elaine beamed. We'll be there. Robert hesitated. If work allows. Post-call, Alex exhaled. Progress. Mark shrugged. Cautious optimism. But doubts nagged. Past patterns predicted backslides. Work intensified. Alex led a project on inclusive AI, channeling personal struggles into professional purpose. Colleagues praised his passion, but burnout loomed. Therapy sessions delved deeper. Your family's homophobia is internalized depression. Alex grappled with that, unpacking shame he'd carried. A bombshell dropped via email. Ben's promotion at his finance firm, but with a catch, relocating to Texas. More conservative there, Ben mentioned casually. Alex worried. Would distance widen the gap, or force confrontation? Visiting Chicago for a conference, Alex met Ben alone at a diner. Over burgers, Ben confessed. Sarah's parents flipped when they learned about you, threatened to cut ties. Alex raised an eyebrow. And you let that dictate? Ben sighed. I was weak, but seeing you stand up, it inspired me. The admission sparked hope, but also anger. Inspired? While I paid the price. Ben nodded. I owe you. Not just money, though I'll repay. Alex waved it off. It's not about cash. It's trust. Back home, Mark noticed Alex's turmoil. Talk to me. Alex poured out frustrations. Family as obligation versus choice. Mark listened, then said, Blood doesn't define family. We do. Inspired, Alex organized a panel at the LGBTQ+ Center on family estrangement. Sharing his story, he connected with attendees. Teens rejected, adults healing. One young man approached. Your wedding story gives me hope. Alex smiled. It's not easy, but worth fighting for. As wedding plans progressed, invitations went out. The Thompsons' RSVP arrived, yes, all four. Excitement mixed with apprehension. Elaine called, What should I wear? Small talk, but meaningful. Then a setback. Robert emailed, Concerned about the ceremony. Is it religious? Alex replied honestly, Humanist, inclusive. Silence followed. Days later, Will attend, but pray for guidance. The response stung. Mark fumed. They're making it about them. Alex pondered. Tolerate for unity or confront? He chose dialogue, calling Robert. Dad, this is our day. Support us as we are. Robert grumbled. Trying son. Old habits. Rehearsal dinner approached. Family flew in, staying at a hotel. Awkward hugs at arrival. Over pasta, toasts flowed. Ben raised a glass. To Alex and Mark, proof love wins. Elaine teared up. Robert clapped stiffly. But post-dinner, a private talk. Elaine pulled Alex aside. I'm proud, but scared for you. Alex asked. Scared of what? Society. Judgment. He hugged her. I've faced worse. Your love helps. Wedding day dawned sunny. Vows exchanged under vines, friends cheering. The Thompsons sat front row, Elaine dabbing eyes. Robert even smiled during photos. Reception buzzed with joy, dancing, cake, laughter. Yet undercurrents. A relative whispered to Elaine, "This is different." She shushed them. Ben danced with Sarah, baby in a carrier. Mark whispered to Alex, "We did it." Honeymoon in Hawaii brought bliss, but reality awaited. Back home, Alex received a letter from Robert. "Seeing your happiness opened my eyes. Sorry for the pain." Tears fell. Forgiveness beckoned. But challenges continued. At a family holiday, old prejudices surfaced. A cousin's slur prompted Alex's retort, "Not here." Ben backed him. "He's right." Shift in alliances. Professionally, Alex's advocacy led to a book deal. Memoirs on family and identity. Writing unearthed raw emotions, betrayals, triumphs. Mark edited, offering insights. As the book neared publication, fears arose. Exposure, backlash. Family reactions? Ben read drafts. Powerful, but mom might struggle. Alex pressed on. Truth heals. Launch event packed. Support overwhelming. Parents attended virtually. Elaine messaging. Brave. Robert. Learning. Yet, a twist. A conservative media outlet criticized the book, labeling it agenda-pushing. Trolls targeted Alex online. Mark shielded him. Ignore the noise. Family fallout. Elaine defended him in church groups, straining friendships. Robert argued with colleagues. Their growth cost them comfort, mirroring Alex's journey. Reflecting, Alex questioned, was visibility worth the risk, or silence safer? The price, vulnerability, but impact too. The book's success brought interviews, podcasts, platforms to amplify voices. Alex spoke on family reconciliation, emphasizing empathy's role. Change starts with conversation, he said, though his own path proved messy. Backlash intensified. Anonymous threats arrived, testing resolve. Mark worried. Maybe pull back. Alex refused. That's what they want, silence. Family dynamics evolved. Holidays included Mark seamlessly. Baby Alexander's first birthday. Alex as doting uncle, teaching tech toys. Ben confided, "You've changed us." But underlayers persisted. Elaine's occasional slips. Robert's gruffness. A crisis hit. Robert's heart attack. Hospital rush. Family united. Alex flew in, Mark by side. Waiting room tension. Prayers clashing with pragmatism. Robert recovered, but vulnerability exposed. "Thank you for coming," he told Alex weakly. "Of course, Dad." Post-recovery, deeper talks. Robert admitted, "I was wrong. Fear ruled me." Tears shared. Bonds mended tentatively. Elaine joined therapy, unpacking biases. Yet society loomed large. In Texas, Ben faced workplace homophobia, defending Alex. "My brother's gay. Got a problem?" Pushback cost promotions but gained integrity. Sarah supported. "Proud of you." Alex's internal conflicts deepened. Fame brought scrutiny. Past choices dissected. Did funding the wedding enable bigotry or spark change? Debates raged in support groups. Mark and Alex considered adoption, navigating legal mazes. Family reactions mixed. Excitement tempered by concerns. Will the child face bullying? Elaine asked. Alex replied, "Like I did? We'll prepare them." Process grueling. Interviews, home studies. Doubts surfaced. Were they ready? Mark reassured. Together, yes. Approval came, then waiting. Meanwhile, Alex's advocacy expanded. Speaking at conferences, lobbying for rights. A bill on family protections, his testimony swayed votes. But personal toll, exhaustion, anxiety. Therapy intensified. "You're carrying generations' weight," counselor noted. Alex nodded, committing to self-care. A betrayal surfaced. A family friend leaked old emails, twisting words. Media storm. Gay man funds homophobic wedding. Alex addressed. It was love, flawed but real. Family rallied. Ben publicly supported. My brother's story is ours. Growth from pain. Elaine spoke out. We were wrong. Now we're learning. Healing circled back. At a family retreat, open dialogues. Tears, apologies, laughter. Robert hugged Mark. Welcome, son. Yet, mended scars ached. Alex pondered ethics. Forgive fully or guardedly. The price? Ongoing effort. Adoption match arrived. A boy, Ethan, 2 years old. Joy overwhelmed. Family met him, love instant. Alexander and Ethan, cousins bonding. Parenthood shifted priorities. Sleepless nights, but fulfillment. Mark beamed. Our family. Challenges. Playground stairs. Questions. Alex taught resilience. Love is love. As Ethan grew, Alex reflected on his journey, from exclusion to embrace. But was it universal? Not all stories ended happily. The book's release party was a whirlwind of congratulations and champagne toasts in a trendy San Francisco loft. Alex stood at the podium, voice steady. This isn't just my story. It's ours. The collective pain and triumph of those marginalized by love. Applause thundered, but his eyes sought Mark's, anchoring him. Interviews followed. NPR, CNN, local papers. Questions probed deep. How do you reconcile funding a wedding that excluded you? Alex answered honestly. It was a gamble on family. Sometimes, love means risking heartbreak. Responses polarized. Support from allies, vitriol from critics. Online, trolls swarmed. Hypocrite. Attention seeker. Alex blocked, but words wounded. Mark monitored. Don't read comments. Yet, positive messages poured in. Your story saved my relationship with my parents. Family navigated the spotlight. Ben called, proud. But Texas folks are buzzing. Homophobic remarks at work tested him. Stood my ground, he said. Sarah added, we're with you. Elaine joined a PFLAG group, sharing experiences. Learning so much, she told Alex. Robert read the book twice, annotating margins. Made me think, he admitted. But harmony fractured when a conservative blogger twisted facts. Thompson family drama. Gay son buys acceptance? Alex sued for defamation, winning a settlement. Victory bittersweet. Privacy invaded. Adoption journey accelerated. Agency matched them with Ethan, abandoned toddler. Home visit nerve-wracking, but passed. Bringing him home. Tiny hands clutching toys, eyes wide. Family flew in. Elaine cooed. Grandma's here. Robert bounced him. Strong kid. Ben's family bonded instantly. Parenthood's realities hit. Tantrums. Fevers. Alex balanced work advocacy. Mark quit freelance for stability. A moral dilemma arose. Ethan's bio-family surfaced, contesting. Court battles loomed. Alex fought. He's ours. Support from Thompson's, testimonies, funds. Victory. Custody granted. Relief washed over. Yet questions lingered. Had his choices, funding, forgiving been right? The price? Scars, but a fuller life. Years passed. Ethan thriving in school. Mark and Alex's home a haven of books and art. Alex's career soared. CTO at a tech firm championing diversity. Advocacy continued. TED Talk on family evolution viewed millions. Family visits normalized. Holidays in Chicago. Blended traditions, no tiptoeing. Robert mentored Ethan on engineering. Elaine baked with him. But shadows remained. A school bully taunted Ethan. 2 dads? Weird. Alex consoled. Different is strong. Meeting with principal, policies changed. Ben's family grew. Another child. Relocation back to Illinois for proximity. Missed you, Ben said. A turning point. Robert's retirement speech thanked Alex. My son taught me love's boundless. Applause moved Alex to tears. Yet, societal backlash persisted. Anti-LGBTQ plus legislation threatened rights. Alex lobbied, testifying, families like mine deserve protection. Personal cost, strain on marriage. Mark confessed, sometimes I feel secondary to your crusades. Alex recommitted, date nights, therapy. Internal conflicts peaked during a family crisis. Elaine's cancer diagnosis. Chemo, hospital vigils. United front. Support rotations. Remission brought gratitude. Elaine whispered, thank you for not giving up on us. Alex replied, same here. As Ethan turned 10, Alex reflected on the wedding betrayal, a catalyst for change. Without it, would bonds have strengthened? Book sequel planned. Updates on reconciliation. Interviews revealed. Not all forgave. Some cut ties rightfully. At a pride parade, family marched together, banners high. Robert waved a rainbow flag, awkward but earnest. Yet, doubts. Was acceptance genuine or performative? Time-tested. Ethan asked about the past. Why was Uncle Ben's wedding sad? Alex explained age-appropriately. Love wins, but sometimes fights. The journey's price. Emotional labor, but rewards immense. Authentic connections. Ethan's soccer games became family affairs, Robert cheering loudest. That's my grandson. Pride swelled in Alex. Advocacy took Alex to Washington, meeting lawmakers. Your story humanizes the issue, one said. Home life balanced. Mark's art show, Ethan's school play. Normalcy hard won. A betrayal echo. A distant relative disinvited them from a gathering. Ben boycotted. All or none. Solidarity solidified. Elaine's book club discussed Alex's memoir, sparking dialogues. Changed perspectives, she reported. Robert volunteered at the center listening to stories. Growth evident. Marriage milestone. 10th anniversary vow renewal. Family attended. Toasts heartfelt. Yet mouth wan. A heated debate over politics. Alex stood firm. Robert conceded. The narrative's arc. From shock to awakening. As Ethan entered teens, questions deepened. Identity. Heritage. Alex shared openly, fostering dialogue. Career pinnacle. Alex founded a nonprofit for LGBTQ plus family support. Funding poured in Impact Global. Family legacy. Ben's kids learned tolerance early. Uncle Alex is cool, they said. But final trial, Robert's passing. Funeral emotional. Eulogy by Alex. Dad evolved, teaching us all. Grief bonded them closer. Elaine moved to California, embracing the life. Mark and Alex traveled, Ethan in tow. Reflections on paths taken. The story's essence. Choices, consequences, love's cost. In the end, was excluding Alex from the wedding justifiable for family peace, or a moral failing that demanded accountability? With Robert gone, Elaine flourished in San Francisco, joining groups, making friends. New chapter, she said. Alex's nonprofit hosted workshops, reconciliation strategies, success stories inspired. Ben's promotion, inclusive firm. Your influence, he credited Alex. Ethan came out as bi, supported fully. Thanks for paving the way, he said. Mark's career boomed. Illustrations for Alex's books. Societal shifts. Laws progressed, but regressions loomed. Vigilance required. Personal growth. Alex meditated balanced life. Family reunions. Joyous, no undercurrents. The wedding's shadow faded, replaced by light. Yet, the question lingers. In pursuit of tradition, is betraying a loved one ever right? Or does true family demand unconditional acceptance?